Hey internet, it's Skai.
Hey bitch, what's up bitch?
Welcome to my Wings fan cult. Like and subscribe to get your... So, Michelle Phan, if you don't know who she is, I envy you because you aren't chronically online, okay? She's a 37-year-old original influencer who has over 8 million subscribers and focuses mainly on the beauty niche. In 2022, she was blamed for entering a cult and being brainwashed, also blamed by me because I made a video back then titled The Influencer Cult of Michelle Phan.
So she's extremely successful. She took a break from YouTube from I believe 2015 to 2017 because this whole social media pressure affected her mental health in a negative way. She struggled to find her identity, kind of felt like she became a money-making machine. And yeah, that's hard, like I totally relate to that. Thank you guys for 500 subscribers.
I was basically bashing her for her crazy beliefs, and all of that was happening with her absolutely looked like spiritual psychosis. A year after I made that video, I experienced my own spiritual psychosis that was caused by realization that I'm also in a cult. So it really hits home when I talk about cults because I've experienced this type of severe abuse, okay? Like religious abuse. So, cults.
First, let's discuss how cults actually work and why I don't necessarily see Michelle as this cult leader, this buzzword that drama channels drop when talking about her. Yeah, I feel like Michelle is literally just a victim who can potentially become dangerous because of her massive following, of her massive influence that the actual cult leaders and self-help scammers are taking advantage of. Cults are based on manipulation and it becomes 1,000 times harder when your own brain starts manipulating itself and fights that manipulation. If you have ever been in a toxic relationship, either with a partner or a friend, you know how hard it is to see and realize that they're ruining you because this whole time you feel like they want the best for you and your brain is kind of fighting itself about that. Now transform that into, for example, a religious view where you literally fight the thought of eternal damnation because of this one little thing you did. It's a torture. Now multiply this pressure and imagine how difficult it must be if you've been in an actual cult. Like not just hearing one thing you don't agree with, but being among one specific type of people 24/7. Everyone with the same exact belief and they want to strip away every bit of your identity so they can control you. I'm a Christian and I do realize that there are Christians that are evil, self-righteous, whatever. Also like really manipulative. I mean, they aren't real Christians, you know. For me, Christianity is like an inner peace that comes from Jesus, and this peace helps me to fight sin, to fight bad. I firmly believe in importance of morality and certain deeds and ways to live, but I still don't want to be that close-minded maniac, that sort of obsessive, you know. You're still a human, you know what I mean? There are many things I wouldn't do and I don't agree with, but when other people do it, I'm like, I mind my own business, even though I know it's hurtful to my God, but I'm not like in a cult.
Oh honey, you were. Let's look at some of my takes and some posts Michelle Phan made.
I believe we should be open-minded, however not naive.
I am love. Love is me. I am the universe experiencing itself and I feel infinite.
Now this sounds crazy.
I'm still processing all the miracles I witnessed and the miracle I became today. I saw angels. I experienced complete bliss and joy that I've never ever experienced in my life.
Okay, so this is escalating in a pretty concerning way.
One more note. This mediation retreat is not one of those relaxing spa ones. My friends think I'm relaxing and chilling. Nah bro, I'm working. I'm clocking in 4 hours of sleep every day. Yikes. Waking up at 3 a.m.
thinking about so many things.
to mediate for 5 hours straight, no breaks, not even for bathroom. Then we eat, then learn science for 2 hours, then mediate again, then break, and then mediate again. It's work.
4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of meditation. I also don't know why she says mediation, but let's just say meditation. And no bathroom. All of this is against basic human needs, okay? When you are introduced to something that goes completely against the basic bare minimum of a human need, you should kind of know you're being manipulated. Not to victim blame here, but just, you know, like, sometimes it's good to use your brain. You don't have to be sleep deprived and torn your bladder to become a better version of yourself. That's completely delusional.
And this is where it gets weird for me. When I first heard that she said, "I am love and so are you," I thought she was crazy. But when I got my own psychosis, everything she said made absolute sense to me. If you saw some of my previous videos, you already know I suffered from severe psychosis in 2023. Literally had to leave my beloved university because I was so sick from the psychosis. And my experience was very similar to Michelle's. I was processing all of my cult trauma so fast that I basically broke down in one sleepless night. Red flag number one, being sleepless, just like Michelle was without sleep, 4 hours of sleep, waking up at 4 or at 3 a.m., long meditation, like no sleep is really, really bad. It's bad because it makes you prone to the indoctrination because your head literally doesn't work on a few hours of sleep, like meditation and stuff, like it's all programming, okay? At that time that I was falling into psychosis, I was seeing a severe amount of synchronicities around me regarding the good and the bad, the truth and the lie, who's God, blah, blah, blah. And I had a friend who insisted that we are all God. She was like, I am God, you're God, we're just projection of each other. And I just simply couldn't take it. I didn't want to believe that, okay? So I was like, this is some bullshit, I'm not gonna believe this. But when I was on the edge of my psychosis, I was connecting the biblical dots about how the Word was with God, and how Word was God, and how I recognized myself through words, and how I was the Word, and as the Bible says, I am that I am, and I had this huge psychotic realization that I am God, and I could feel two forces, okay? It was obviously psychosis, but I could feel two forces. One was really negative evil force, and one was the good force, like God and love and positivity. One was God and love and peace and wisdom and I don't know how many things more, and one was the absolute evil, this is hell, okay? I felt that inside of my head. I felt like this is happening in front of me, and there was a battle, and I was choosing the good force so strongly that the negative force went away, and then I felt I was just serotonin and dopamine, and everything was just love, and I was just so high, and I was like, oh my God, we're all saved. I literally felt that I saved the world because of choosing the good force, and this is obviously psychosis, okay? And I was really, really excited, and I thought that I cracked the code of salvation and felt such an intense euphoria that we are all indeed God, who is love. So that means that if we are all God, we are love, we are Jesus Christ, the puzzle of him, So then you can understand how I understood Michelle Phan and couldn't disagree anymore. And it took me 10 years of being in this code, so 10, the number of God. And when I had that realization, I am that I am, or I am Jesus, or I am God, whatever, I looked at the clock and it was literally 3:33 a.m. Again, sleepless night, but the synchronicity, the angelic Jesus numbers or whatever, I was like, oh my God, this is happening. I have the realization of the everything, blah, 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 blah. I have to stop reincarnation, some crazy ass shit, okay? And this is where my episode became severely dark, and it felt like I'm experiencing an absolute hell. And I had so many delusions to the point I wanted to kill myself because my head was going so extremely crazy with the delusions that I literally felt like I'm gonna die, my head is gonna explode, okay? So I could go into details, but this video would be an hour long if I went into the details because my psychosis was so severe, and it only lasted for one night. For 6 months it lasted, the soul psychosis, but the most intense part lasted one night. And from the night to the start of the day, and to the I don't know how much time, until I don't know, 12 o'clock or something. And then I was hospitalized in a psychiatric clinic, obviously, because I was going crazy. And thank God for antipsychotics, okay? I was hospitalized for 5 times in or 4 times. And one time I wanted to be hospitalized, but the doctor was not really nice, and I was extremely, extremely anxious, and I felt like I'm gonna die because I don't know why. He literally sent me home at 2 a.m. okay? and gave me sleeping pills. Okay, that was such a fail, but like, I literally, because of this psychosis, I had to go into psychiatric hospital multiple times this year. And like, you know, as I mentioned, did I mention it? Like, I left university and stuff, and it was really a crazy period of time. But yeah. So what I want to say is that either we're all blind to the truth about how we're all love, or Michelle just witnessed a severe spiritual psychosis as well that I unfortunately understand, and she's just another victim of this disease. And yeah, like, that's what I wanted to say, because in the beginning I was like, okay, she's the victim, but like in previous video I was like, okay, she's the victim, but also Michelle, you're an influencer, you have an influence, like, you shouldn't be preaching all this stuff and deceive people into your beliefs. But then I literally came to the same beliefs as she did, but my psychotic episode was like extremely dark, like towards the end, and her episode was like constant high and constant love bombing and stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of correct myself from the previous video, how it could be just psychosis and that she isn't like some evil. Like, I obviously don't think she's evil, but like, how she isn't some recruiter to recruit you into their cult, but like, she may be really mentally ill. So yeah, anyways, comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Skai loves you, God bless you, and I can't wait to interact with you on this platform. Bye bye.